Hi, me again, Joe, here over at Wooliecottage. It's day 9 of your Christmas Advents, and I hope you really like this one. Now, I've only got a little bit. I don't have as much as you. I've got about 25, 30 grams, but it honestly, I can't get over how soft it is. It really is really, really pretty. Um, so there you go. You've got these blues and peaches, and there's like a goldy yellow in there. So we'll see what's in this. We have got, if we just find the sheet underneath the blending board. Oh, there's always something in there. Right, so where are we at? Day 9. Again, this is hand dyed rambouillet. It's got 23 micron count merino, hand dyed rose fibre, and trilobal. Back again. Dropped a battery, and the stupid collie tried to eat it. Some days I do worry. And with this as well, in this advent, I've just whipped one out of my box, but you got a 10 gram 3D printed Turkish spindle. So I hope you find that useful. And if you've never used one before, they're a dream to spin. They're absolutely amazing to spin. So everybody got one. I'm positive that I put one in everybody's. So there we have it. So that's what you've got this week. Today. So we've got that, and what I thought I would do today is another demo, because I did felting a couple of days ago, so I thought I'll do another demo, but I want to, because I've only got a small amount of this, I thought it might be nice to do a couple of mini bats. So that's what I'm going to do now. And what I've done is I've still got about 100 grams of the roving that I use for this specific blend. So you've got this dusky blues, you've got these peachy pink colours in there, there's a hint of yellowy goldy colours in there as well. So I'm going to blend this and this together, but I'm going to add in a pop of silver sparkle. So that's what we're going to do today, just as a quick demo, just to show you what you can do if you've got art bats that you want to go a little bit further, and maybe you have in your own stash some hand dyed wills that have got colours that are in the bat already. Then you can actually enlarge that colour theory, and create more wool that you can spin up for a project. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll tilt you down, so you can see what I'm doing. So that's what we're going to do now. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just get my roving, and I think I'm going to go with 2 mini bats. So I'm just going to split the roving and put that there, and then I'm going to split the bat that I've got straight in the middle and put one to one side and one to the other. And then I have got this merino mix blend, see the different colours, with this silver Angelina in there. So I'm going to split this into sections just so it's workable and more manageable to work with, and I'm going to split that into 3 sections, and I'm going to start blending that on my board. I'm just going to lift my sleeve up because it gets caught on it. So what you can do, go straight from that full length, but what you might find is that your wool, your bat, when you're pulling it, will start to catch as you're dragging it down. So just split that in a smaller handful section, easier to work with, and then start pulling that down your blending board. Like so. And get the other piece that you've just pulled apart. It just makes it easier to work with if you've got more manageable smaller sections to draft down your blending board. There we go. Then I'm going to get a bit of my lovely yellow, and I'm just going to put a section there and another section here, and leave on. I think I'll go a bit deeper on this piece here. Leave that like that. Then I'm going to get my hand dyed roving, which is the exact same colourway that I used, and I'm going to split that in 2 sections, and then I'm going to start blending that on the board and draft that all the way down. There we go. So if you're wanting to pick out the blue that's in this blend, then go and get yourself some some baby blue roving and mix that through. You can add in some blended rovings that you buy from your supplier with maybe bamboo or something like that in it, and you can add in pops of orange into this with stellina in it as well. Or if you want to avoid that sort of colour, that fibre, then have a rootle around and add in some white, some more natural colours. You can tone this down by adding undyed roving to it if you want to as well. Or you can just pick out one colour from the blended bat that you've got and add that in with this to help just calm it down a little. So I had another section, so I'm getting the bat again and I'm just going to blend that down. So I mean, there's all sorts of things that you can do to just help create a different look to your work and make your bats go a little bit further. Just pick your favourite colour out of it and it will stop it, especially with this being such a mixed blend. It's mostly a blue blend, but it has got pops of other colours in there, and really what you'll be ending up getting if you just spin it will be a blue background but with a muddied peachy colours and yellow colours on top. So just highlight that and define it a bit more with a more solid colour in with the roving. So I'm going to get this again. I'm just going to put it down in sections, and then I'm going to get my roving, my hand-dyed roving. I'm going to drag that down, draft it down my blending board. Like so. There we go. And pack that in. There we are. And now I'm going to get my bat, split that section again. You find sections that don't want to go down, just pick them off. Then I'm going to go back and get my yellow roving with my stellina in there and go with the sections where I know for a fact that the yellow isn't. There we go. Okay, and there's the last piece of bat that we've got, and I'm going to go middle end, in the middle of the two, middle and end, and then again just to help equalize the colours as I blend it through. Now I could do these into Rolags, but because the theme of yarn that I'm spinning up at the moment is a chunky, if I spin that as a Rolag, I'm going to get more of a finer yarn, and I don't want to do that. So I'm literally just going to get my dowels, pop one under there, pop one up here, and I'm not going to draft the fibres out. I'm going to ever so slightly, gently, 1 minute, lift. I could draft it a little, but I don't want to draft it too much. So I'm not making a giant Rolag, I just want a bat. There we go. There we have. Right, so I'm just going to tease tease it open. See, that's the thing about doing it as a slightly drafted, is you're going to end up with your fibres crisscrossing over. And the next, when I do this other one, I'll not draft it at all, and then you can see the difference in working with it. If you're doing a mini bat, you really don't want to draft it at all, otherwise you'll end up with a giant rollac, which you can spin from, but that's not what I want to do. Right, so I'm just gonna roll it down. I'm gonna fold it over, actually fold it over the other way. It's very light and airy because it's such a little thing. Probably about 25-30 grams worth of fibre in here if you're lucky. And then roll that up into a little Swiss roll. Oh, there we have one little mini bat. Isn't that cute? So I'll do that again, but this time I'll not draft at all. I will literally just lift up the blend. So here's my yellow fibre. Oh, there goes a battery again. Right, so I've got my bat, and we've got the roving, which again I'm going to split in half, and I'm going to start working with the bat, and again smaller lengths just because it's easier to work with. I think, there we go. So repeat what I've done already, so I can make sure that when I'm working with the wool, it's going to have a consistent blend, and it's going to look similar to what the first one does, but they never look the same. You can blend them repeatedly exactly the same as you did it the first time, and they all come out with their own characteristics. You may turn the dowels a little bit shorter than you had done at first. You may put more weight of colour in one section than you had done on the first bat, so you're never going to get a uniquely identical blend. Like just now, I've literally just forgot to put the other section of bat on before I put that on, so this is going to look unique in itself anyway, but the same fibres are all going to be there. So I'm just going to pop that to one side, and I'm going to pack this down. Even when I'm blending art bats on my big drum carder, there are times when, no matter if I do it exactly the same, especially if I filmed what I've done, exactly the same blend with the same amount of wools on each bat, they all look slightly different. Go. There we are. I'm going to get some of my yellow again and put a streak of it there and a streak of it there, and then pack that in. Go, get some of my bat. And just remember, when you're blending on your blending board, you will want, and you will end up finding you're doing multiple layers. So when I'm blending exactly the same as while we're doing the drum carder, my blends will have about, I don't know, between 9 to 16 different layers, and it sounds like a lot. It is, but what you're doing is you're building up continuity. You're building up layers so that when you're working with the fibre and spinning it into a yarn or working with it as felting, then you're going to have a layering that looks really nice. So this time I'm making sure that I'm using the same blue to start with, where the last time I started with the blue on the last bar, and then I went and used that end to start on this side. But I've remembered to be consistent with my layering of colour and work in the same order than I did originally. Not that it really matters when you've got multicoloured tonal wools. There we go. Pack that down. So now you're at the last stages. You want to look for areas that are compacted quite a lot, like down here on my blended board. There's a lot in here compacted, so I want to try and aim for this middle section where I can see the depth of the tines is really quite long in comparison to up here and down the bottom. So again, I'm going to get my yellow. I'm trying to avoid going down the bottom, so I'm pulling at my fibres really quite short on the board. Pack that down, and the last bit to go on is the rest of my blended art back. So start from this side and in the middle, then at the edge, in the middle in between those two sections, and again, and then just keep going until I've filled in all my spots that I know I need to cover up. So I'm just going to, I've got a piece left, I'm just going to pack this down so I can take another look. There's a bit in the section there that's not got a lot of fibre. There's another piece here and another piece here, like so. So quickly pack those into place, and then get my single dowel down the bottom. Now this one I'm not going to draft any fibres whatsoever. I'm literally going to roll it all the way up the board, like so. You will see fibres stick to your blending board, but that's because you're not drafting the fibres, you see. So there we have, that's come off a lot easier. I've not had to mess around with it or anything like that. Let me just untangle some of that in the back here. Because it's not a drafted fibre or drum carded, the fibres will want to stick to each other a little bit more than usual. Just take that off there. And there we go, we've got one backed. Oop. Turn it over. Over like that. Roll it up into a little donut. And there you have two blended mini bats, approximately 50 grams, thereabouts, between them. So there we go. So I've done the other one. Sorry, I thought I'd filmed that part of the video. I don't know why it never video recorded. So this is the second batch, so I did two of them. This is the drafted version, and you can see the colours look a little bit more muted, but this one I never drafted it at all, and it's got a bit more bolder colourway to that. So there we go. Do apologise, I could have sworn that I pressed play on that. I've just recorded that entire section. 7 minutes of video blending this bat up. Anyway, so that's it for today. please do hit that like and subscribe. It costs you nothing to do that on the channel. I really do appreciate it. It just helps other people find me and helps my algorithms on the platform to be discovered. So yeah, that's it for now. So I will spin these up later on today, but I'll show you them tomorrow on day 10, and then we've got 2 more days after that. So I hope you're having a lovely new year so far. I shall catch you later on. Take care for now. Bye.